Hello everyone, my name is Jason. I'm a channeler and a Course in Miracles student, and I'd like to start out with a tuning fork today. It's 128 hertz. 128 hertz has been proven to help to release nitric oxide, which is supposedly very, very good for stimulating the healing response in your body. And also it's a frequency. And so what I've learned is that intention plus frequency equals healing, or whatever it is that you want to accomplish. So please use this frequency to accomplish whatever you'd like to do. Set an intention and listen. And all right. And then I'll come in with the channeling afterward. Okay guys, so I'm back. I hope that the volume was okay. I know my voice is kind of low. Sorry about that. It's yeah. Anyway, so today I'd like to talk about a few things, maybe just two. One, I'll just read from A Course in Miracles. Now, in A Course in Miracles, they often talk about the idea of idols. And they talk about idols as made of dust and made of stone, and that they don't really exist. They're just these stationary items. And I really thought that was a very interesting idea. Here's a quote from Lesson 93. That you have sought salvation in strange ways, have been deceiving and afraid of foolish fantasies and savage dreams, and have bowed down to idols made of dust. All this is true by what you now believe. So, yes, so we believe in these idols. We believe in the idol of, for example, go to a good university, get a good job, and then you're going to be happy, for example, is a very, very common one, especially here in Japan. There's a lot of pressure for kids to study really hard, to get into the good university, to get into the good company, and then what, right? Nothing, right? You find that it might not be a suit for you. Maybe it will be, maybe it won't, but it's an idol. It's not one size fits all. And so I think this idea of idols is very interesting. And you know, I always think about idols. For example, we have teen idols in, for example, in the 50s and 60s, we had the teen idols. I think it was Elvis was a teen idol, and all of the Beatles were teen idols. And there's all kind of One Direction was a teen. Well, there are many, many different teen idols out there, and the word idol, right? An idol, you're idolizing something. You're creating a god. You are thinking that this thing will be your savior. Basically, that's what an idol is. You're idolizing it, and I don't think that they use that term as much. I don't hear it as much in the American press, but in the Japanese press, it's used a lot for the teen idols. They're called idol. That is the job. What does he do? Oh, he's an idol. She's an idol, you know. And just think that it's so interesting that the words, it's so clear. Nothing is being hidden. Everything is right in front of you. And so that is more of the obvious idol. Many people... Okay, so another part of the Course in Miracles I wanted to read was the process of psychotherapy, chapter 5, the process of healing. And it says here, while the truth is simple, it must be taught to those who have already lost their way in endless mazes of complexity. This is the great illusion. In its wake comes the inevitable belief that to be safe, one must control the unknown. This strange belief relies on certain steps which never reach to consciousness. First, it is ushered by the belief that there are forces to be overcome to be alive at all. And next, it seems as if these forces can be held at bay only by an inflated sense of self that holds in darkness what is truly felt and seeks to raise illusions to the light. Let us remember that the ones who come to us for help are bitterly afraid. What they believe will help can only harm. What they believe will harm alone can help. Progress becomes impossible until the patient is persuaded to reverse his twisted view, his twisted way of looking at the world, his twisted way of looking at himself. The truth is simple, yet it must be taught to those who think it will endanger them. It must be taught to those who will attack because they feel endangered, and to those who need the lesson of defenselessness above all else to show them what is strength. So, yeah, I just thought that was a really wonderful expression there. And so next I'd like to channel Mary Magdalene. She came in and the video kind of, didn't work. So let's see if she'll come through again. Here we go. Greetings. Yes, it is us. We are the being and the consciousness known as Mary Magdalene, and we come through with a message of peace and of love, which is the only message that there is and that there ever will be. And this is the message that we hope that you get through us coming through this being, through this video, through this day that you watch this, the feeling of love and the feeling of peace. Now, what we wanted to say, what we want to give to you today is the idea that everything is in flux at the moment. Everything is changing and everything might seem a little bit too much. But what we'd like you to understand, the analogy that we would like you to make it is that the light has been turned on in a darkened room. And in this room, there are many things in the corner that you didn't know were there. And once you see them, you don't want to know. You didn't want to know that that was there, and you try not to see it. But it's there in the light, and it's glaring, it's staring right at you. And that's where you're at right now. You are in a place where the light has been switched on in a dark room, and everything that was hidden is revealed. And it's there for you. It's a present for you. It's a present for you to see these things and to see what they are in the light, in the bright light, and then for you to let them go, to forgive them and to let them go. And that is what the light is there for at this moment. And one thing we would say that a lot of you might feel the sense of fear, of fear of the future, a little bit anxiety. What's going to happen? Everything's changing, everything's different, nothing's the same as it used to be, and I don't know how I'm going to survive or how I'm going to live. And don't worry. Don't worry, the secret is, and the idea is that your eyes are just getting used to the light at the moment. At the moment, the light has been turned on. The light has been turned on in the room, and your eyes are just getting used to this light. And sometimes it takes a while for your eyes to get used to the light. And that's the process that you're in at this moment. It is a process of time. A process of time, because time is teaching you. Time is teaching you by experiencing this stretch of time. It is enabling you to have certain experiences that you wouldn't have had without this stretch of time. And so it is a gradual process, yes, this turning on of the light and seeing more of what is in, for example, this room, seeing what is in your room, in your world. And it is a gradual process of you seeing these things and your eyes adjusting and you accepting, this is something that I didn't want to see, but now I see it and I forgive it and I understand it and I let it go. I forgive it. I let it go. And this is part of what is going on in your world right now. You don't have to hold on to those things you see. You see something there that you don't want, let it go. You don't have to hold on to it. Don't be angry at it. Don't be fearful of it. Just let it go, because that is what it's there for for you to forgive, and for you, as it is said in the Course in Miracles, forgiveness practice. That is the practice. But now it has been sped up because the time is coming. The time is coming, we might say. The time is coming closer. Or we might say that time is slowly leaving, you might say, because where we're going, time will be perceived in a different way, because the usage of time will not be necessary in the same sense where we are going. But time is being used masterfully at this moment in time for you to process all of the things that you need to process in order for you to lighten your load, in order for us to go where we're going. We're taking a journey, you might say. We're taking a journey, and you can only take the most necessary things with you. And so you need to let go of the things that are not necessary anymore. All of those things that you've been holding on for the longest time, that have been causing you sadness, that have been causing you fear, that have been making you defend yourself, making you angry, making you lash out. Let them go. Let them go. They're not there for that. That's not what they're there for. They're there to teach you. They're all just lessons. And some of them are harder than others, and we understand. We understand. We have had an existence on your planet. We understand how hard these things are. But we just tell you that it's okay for you to let go of these things, and also to know that you're not alone, that all over the world people are going through the exact same thing. So you're not alone in this situation. So when you see your brother or your sister out in the street, understand that they're going through the same thing, and give them some love, give them some space, and try to understand where they're coming from. If they seem angry, if they seem upset, just understand that that's where they're at, and they're also fighting. They're fighting, you could say, their inner demons, you might say it. Give them some space, give them some room, give them some light, because you're all going through this together, and you're all going through this together. And it is not an easy process, as you know, and as we understand as well. And if you ever need to call on us, if you ever find yourself, if the suffering is too much, whatever you see in the room is too dark, call on us, and we can come and we can help you. But you have to call on us, otherwise we cannot help. And we can help you to deal with this darkness, which is an illusion, and we can help to take you a few steps back from the illusion, and so that you understand what it truly is. Okay, so yeah, so there you go. That's Mary Magdalene, or the consciousness known as Mary Magdalene. And one other thing too, just today, in my Course in Miracles meditation in the morning, my guides took me they showed me the sky, and they showed me some clouds, and I thought, oh, that's an interesting looking cloud. That's probably like an alien spaceship. And they were saying, no, not all of these funny looking clouds are spaceships, but they said to know. And then they showed me that there are many different ships out in space at the moment, and they're coming closer and closer. And the reason they're coming closer, they said, is twofold. One is because they want to see the greatest show in the world, us experiencing what we're going through. And then the second thing, so I've heard that before, and then the second thing they said is that a lot of them have roles to play once things start to change. So I guess they will be helping in this process, whatever the process is called. Some people call it the ascension process, or the end of time process, whatever you want to call it. But they have roles to play in helping it run smoothly once things come to that point, and they are closer. And now I don't know what that means. Time is it's a weird expression, but time is a strange bedfellow. We don't really understand time, and time doesn't really understand itself, I imagine. It's a perception, and so that all depends. So I don't know how close, if that means that things are happening really soon or in a few years. I have absolutely no idea. I'm not making any predictions. All I'm saying is what my guides showed me, and but I thought that was interesting, and I wanted to share it with you. So thank you very much for listening. Oh, by the way, if you want to read a book about dragons, it's down below. Anyway, ciao.